Red Dwarf. Out of all the British sitcoms I've seen, this show is my favourite for many different reasons. From its cast of characters, the music by Howard Goodall, the sets, the locations, and of course, the iconic lines.
He's a smig. Hey.
However, I bring this show up to discuss something interesting that some people may not know about. You know the Star Wars special editions, where they modified the films with various changes to them, ranging from extra scenes added and changing effects? Well, imagine that, but on a TV show. Enter the 1998 Red Dwarf Remastered. This was an extraordinary experiment that came out in the show's 10th anniversary. It gained mixed to negative reviews upon its release, and besides a few home video releases, this version has never been re-released again since the creators have decided instead to restore all 8 seasons for DVD and eventually Blu-ray releases. But despite all that, is there anything good in the remastered? Well, that's why I'm making this video. So grab yourselves a curry vindaloo as we take a look at the 1998 Red Dwarf Remastered. Before I talk about the remaster itself, I must address how this all happened. Well, according to the DVD behind the scenes documentary, co-creator Doug Naylor mentioned how the BBC couldn't re-release the first 3 series internationally because they think that series 1 to 3 didn't look as good compared to the other seasons. But Doug suggested an idea to them.
Would it help if they were remastered and we got a whole new look? And they went, oh, well, if you could do that, problem solved. Then we will be able to take them to Japan and blah 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 and sell them.
And so that's what he did. Him and his team spent months remastering all 3 seasons of the show. It would soon premiere in 1998 as part of the 10th anniversary block on BBC Two. If you want to know more detail about it, you can find the documentary on the Body Snatcher Collection DVD, or YouTube since the DVD is hard to find. It may be strange for the BBC to do this, but they have done a similar thing with Doctor Who, where they made changes to the original broadcasting. Heck, even Star Trek did this. But both are optional to watch either version on their DVD releases. Now let's go over all the changes that I like and don't like in the remastered. I won't cover all of them, but some that I think are worth talking about. And just a heads up, this is all my opinion. Starting with the positives, I should mention the CGI models first, since the main reason why fans don't like the remastered is because all of the model shots been replaced with CGI. But you gotta remember that CG on TV in those days wasn't as advanced compared to nowadays, and give a little credit, this is all done by one man. Chris Veal does a decent job on making the models which he had references from the actual props. The redesigned Red Dwarf and Blue Midget look great since the design of Blue Midget would remain for Series 8 and 10, while the redesigned Red Dwarf would be used in Series 8. Plus, there are some impressive shots he can do, you just gotta remember that this was done on a small budget. In the episode Crichton, you can see Crichton flying out of Red Dwarf on his bike to go and plant a garden on an asteroid. This was something they were going to do in the original but got cut in the edit, and I do like they reinserted back in for this version. It's a nice change and it does properly show what happened to Crichton after that episode before he returned in Series 3. The episode Body Swap actually fixes an error in the episode. In that scene where Lister, in Rimmer's body, asks Cat for help, he says this line. The white midget was originally going to appear in the episode as there are concept art of the craft, but it was cut and replaced with Blue Midget. However, this line was never fixed, so in the remastered version, the word white was cut out, correcting a very minor scripting error. I bet interesting that they never fixed this line in any other version of this episode, but it is nice they fixed it for this version. In the episode Me Too, the alarm call was changed and just watch. They added more violent sounds to the alarm, and I just think it's just more funnier than the original. In the episode Backwards, the scene where Rimmer gets ejected out of Starbuck was changed to this. They made a new Rimmer puppet to achieve this shot, and I kinda wish a laugh track was added after him hit the ground, even though Rimmer was still in soft flight around this time, but whatever. In the episode Polymorph, the ending to that episode was changed with a newly filmed shot and text explaining what happened to the second one. I'd assumed that this was changed because Grant Naylor was getting tired on asking whatever happened to the second Polymorph, so he made this ending just so fans would stop asking him. But besides that, I just think it's funny that the second Polymorph just dies in listeners' drawers years later. Brilliant. And now for the changes I don't like. Some of Howard Goodall's music in the show has been replaced with library music to give it a cinematic feel. To which, while some of the tracks are nice, and I get why they've been experimenting with that since season 7, but I think it was a necessary change to do that. In the episode Queeg, they've added glitch effects to show more that Rimmer was malfunctioning, but I think they made the sound effects a bit too loud, to which sometimes it drowns out the laugh track. They should just turn down the volume or choose different sound effects that aren't as loud as the ones they used. In the episode Body Swap, Chris animated a brand new chase sequence between Starbug and Blue Midget. I don't like this new version because it is entirely set in a cave, which is a weird choice, and I personally think it makes it less exciting, plus the explosion and the crash don't look as good compared to the original. I have to assume because of technology at the time, Chris couldn't animate a proper crash at that point, to which he would get better in Series 8. In Maroon, they cut out this bit for no reason. Like, why? Why did they cut that scene? I guess to shorten the episode, but it makes no sense. But that's not the oldest change. In some episodes of Series 1, shots of Norman's Holly was reshot because they didn't like the pixel filter on Holly, and they wanted to show more of Norman's face without that filter. But it becomes unnecessary because most of it went unused. Only 3 episodes of Series 1 used the reused shots, so it makes it completely pointless. Okay, this one's a bit of a minor nitpick, but whenever the spacecraft fly out of Red Dwarf to a planet or something, the ship itself stays completely still. It looks a bit weird, which makes it look like they parked the brakes on it to where it's at, as in the original, the ship would move whenever the crafts fly by the camera. With the release of Series 1 to 3 Remastered, while it did well overseas, fans in the UK were not very happy about it. The BBC did plan to remaster Series 4 to 6, but the team decided to scrap plans to do it in order for the technology to catch up with their vision, aka never ended up happening. The last time the remastered version was released is on the Body Snatcher Collection DVD, which is a bit hard to get nowadays. While the changes are completely odd and unnecessary at times, it is a unique view at a different version of a TV show in my opinion. It's not all that bad is what I'm trying to say. It's just a weird experiment just to help the show do well overseas. But no matter what issue you have with Red Dwarf, you can't deny it that it is a smegging good time to watch. And that is the best sentence I end this video on. Good job, me.